All right, welcome back to Divine Timing. Today, we're going to do some tarot, okay? We're going to find out what's going on in the collective. I don't actually have a message, all right, or anything that I've channeled, all right? So we're just going to pull from the cards, all right? But before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cleanse my space, all right? All right, God, Creator, Lord of the worlds, Most High, Brahma, Mama. All right, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Number one. All right, good evening, Most High. All right, gods, goddesses, angels and archangels, ascended masters, ancestors and spirit guides. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I want to thank y'all for y'all love and light. We'll start there. I want to get a reading for the collective. All right, I want to open up a channel. So now that I've opened up a channel, any energy that is in and around my energy, all right, so cease. All right. Michael, if there's any energy around still, all right, force them back through and close the door because I'm not open to that. All right, Spirit, I'm going to cleanse this space. All right. Let that cook up a little bit. That's really burning good. All right. Just cleansing this space. All right. Cleansing this room. Okay. All right. All right, what's going on in the collective's energy today? All right, what's going on in the collective's energy? What is the message that you have for me pertaining to the collective? All right, Spirit, what would you have me tell the collective to give them help through their journey? All right, maybe this was in the past, maybe this is in the future, maybe this is happening right now. All right, take what resonates. All right, don't force the rest, it'll leave you in unrest. Okay, this should resonate, this should flow like water. All right, if it don't flow like water, then it's stopping you up. To hold on to extra things that are not stopping you up leaves you stuck. So don't get yourself stuck. You feel me? All right. But take what resonates. Okay? All right, God. Spirit, Most High, talk to me now. What do we got here for a message for this collective? What do we got here in the energy? All right, for the collective. What's it looking like? All right, what's it looking like? All right, talk to me. Whoa, that was quick. Oh, shit. All right. So we have the devil coming out. All right. And we have the Six of Swords coming out. Or, my bad, the Nine of Swords coming out. You know, when I see these two cards together, all right, I would say, oh my goodness, if they were upside down, right? But these bad boys came out in reverse. First two cards on the deck. That's crazy, you know? Not really. But what it says is, it shows me that the collective, all right, whoever this message is resonating for, all right, is moving past things that were burdening them. All right. This could be like lack mindset. This could have been an attachment. all right, through sex, addictions, okay? This could be a way of thinking, like the lack mindset, that you might believe, all right? You actually might believe your programming, all right? Because you've never really had clarity. Well, this right here in reverse shows that you're healing from this. It shows that there is a push to move past unsettled feelings that keep one in a lack mindset, keep one attached to things, and that keeps one restless. Okay? That's what I see with these two cards. Yeah. So what I see here is there were either people working with you, okay, to keep you in this devil nine of swords energy. All right. So, being a very spiritual person, being a warrior, all right, and being able to see, I can see that the collective has always been harvest. All right, the collective has had a lot of issues being harvested by their energy, their sexual energy, right? Their feminine energy, and this is also in reverse. So, you know. All right, let me grab 3 more cards with this. What do we have here with this message, Spirit? Woo! I got this bad boy coming out sideways. And so I'm gonna take it as on sideways here, this means balance. This means movement too. And so what I see here when I look at these cards and I see the 6 of Wands sideways here, and I see the movement here, I see that there is forward movement, okay? There's forward movement from a place of lack, from a place of being stuck. All right, I've got a collective out here that has been going through some turmoil, all right, and things could potentially be getting better. All right, at the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing the inspirational card, okay? I'm seeing the inspirational card because someone is feeling inspiring. All right, and inspiration is a higher vibration, and those feelings tend to come when we release things. All right, I've got 4 cards out here, so I'm gonna pull 2 more for this row. All right, Spirit, let me grab 2 more cards for this row. And then we'll incorporate these cards back into the deck and see what pops out. Yeah, so I still have rainwater application on my TV, and so that just makes me synchronize in my mind's eye the raininess of how the reading started, but was actually really positive. Okay, all right, and as I tell you this, I can feel the sun on my face, meaning that there's a lot of day. All right. Oh. All right. So then here we go. We have the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Pentacles popping out in reverse. Yeah. So, upright, that's like mindset, right? And in reverse, I see that not only is there a victory movement forward, the victory movement forward collective is part of the fact that you're releasing certain ways of thinking. Okay, so you were holding on to ideals and a mindset which you adopt. A lot of times people project energy at us. Cults. All right, I say this time and time again because it's true. It's not just cults, it's governments. All right. It's galactic beings that are not on your side. It's all kind of energy. It could be energy funneled down to your family. All right. And come, a brother or sister or a mother or a dad or aunt or uncle. Okay. These folks have come against you. Okay. What I see also from the beginning of this is that, you know, sideways, this is harmony, all right? So there was an inharmony, all right, harmony, moving away, and no harm, no foul anymore, right? So there is a harmony that is coming from removing a lack mindset, okay? All right, yeah, lack mindset. Yeah, and also this Five of Pentacles upside down refers to the worrying of the Nine of Swords. All right. So sometimes, a lot of times, all the time, when we're thinking, okay, and we're downloading thoughts, whether we agree with them, whether we're fighting with them, we're downloading information, and sometimes that information can be to the detriment of us, but we believe it though. That's the problem. And so, Creator, God, Most High, in spirit would say, change your perception, change your perspective. But then, the only way to really do that, especially dealing with us human beings, is to have you go through it. Because then you change your perception. You know, you ever be on a team and lose it, hit the game winning shot or lose, miss the game winning shot. There's a lot of pressure, all right, that surmounts inside the body. And even after you hit that shot or you miss the shot, okay, we're talking about missing a shot, then that energy is alchemized a certain way. Either you'll feel really down, or either you'll feel like, man, I'm not gonna miss that shot again. Go Jordan on them, or some Kobe or something like that, and make sure that you don't miss the shot again. That is a form of alchemizing. Okay, so when we go from the devil, which is lack mindset, all right, because in reverse here it says release and limiting thinking, right here, so that is this limited thinking. So when we get a different perception, then we can make changes for the greater. And when we change our perception for the greater and we move in that direction, that's your truth. It never lies to you. Yeah, and so what I see from this card is, although it's in the reverse for forward movement or looking for progress, I see in reverse it's personal goals. So it may have been a personal goal to release some of that lack mindset. All right. And on the bottom of the deck, the last card here is going to be a celebration. All right. And this celebration comes from the ability to move out of a darker way of thinking, or just a limited way of thinking. Okay. Pulling the darkness out of it and focusing on just the energetic resonance, would say lower vibrational thinking. I'm trying to figure out how to get over. I'm trying to, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, okay? You're coming to terms now that it was a lower way of thinking. And now it's changed, all right? And this may have been a personal goal. So keep going, okay? Keep going here. And you'll see that there'll be clarity on the other side of this lack mindset. All right, so let me grab these cards here. Very common. The Matrix makes sure it programs you with a lack mindset. That's what all the hate and the fear is for. All right. A lot of the Egyptians in the past, that it was all multicultural and everything. These folks had a higher way of thinking. These folks, they were very prominent in the way they went about things. And a lot of all of this stuff that we're learning today is learning just how we were programmed and learning how that information was the truth and was either taken from us, all right, the energy moved away one way or another. You can understand that it's not always your fault that you have or have had or was born with, instant or a lack mindset. Okay, I got the Hierophant popping out here, which suggests, that there's a truth to this. Okay, there is wisdom behind the perceptions, all right, and the lack mindset and the changing of that. Hey, good morning, David. All right, you got it. All right. So also, so what I have here is the Hierophant, which suggests wisdom, okay, and trust. And so when you get the wisdom, you change the lack mindset, okay? And this could also be, all right, this could be releasing the um, the traditions and things like that. The traditions and the the rules of society, which is the matrix, right? If you are the society, all right, you individually, and then me, all right, um, I'm free. I don't really come with rules other than a high vibration, right? So collectively, why do we all have one rule? When individually, we don't really have rules. We just have resonating frequencies, things that we can grasp a hold of. Okay, so you can see how that matrix plays on our mind, plays on our perception. All right, plays on our fears. All right, um, yeah. So I've got this moon card in reverse, meaning releasing fears. So, and this is what has happened here when we have removed this lack mindset. All right, this Hierophant is also the ability to see that you're removing the mindset. All right, I wouldn't go as far as to say High Priestess, but this Hierophant is definitely in control of the way it's thinking. It has wisdom, and so it can see that there may have been there was a lack mindset placed upon it, you know. And so, yeah, you know, one would be releasing the fear that is necessary in order to gain the higher perception. All right, let's get a few more cards here pertaining to this message. Spirit, I didn't turn these cards over. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, any other messages? If I could get a few more cards here, wrap this message up, Spirit. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I should. All right. Ooh. Okay. All right. So, as a result of releasing those lack mindsets, is a form of what I see as uh, I think of inner self care and self love. All right, that's what I see. All right, the ability to use discernment to switch up the situation, the ability to use discernment to use cards, talk to spirit, all right, is a form of self care. All right, and so thus one is showing themselves self love. Okay, a bath could also be significant. Okay, going for a run, raising that vibration up in order to solidify what we've changed, because it's all about resonating frequencies from second to second to second. All right, confirmation. All right, so we want to make sure that we consistently keep it like that. That way we can identify when that lack mindset tries to return, because it will until you weed it out and get rid of it and realize you don't need it anymore. Then you will stop. All right, so it's in the conscious now, but it's still in the subconscious a little bit. And you just got to work at it. You got to work at putting it in the forefront of your head so you can foresight, use your foresight to say, oh no, I think I'll have a perception change so then I can move forward. And this is inspirational. All right, this is ideally, what it is that you're looking to fall back in. Okay, and what I see at the bottom of the deck is that, I see the Fool card in reverse. Upright, it would suggest new beginnings and things like that. All right, in reverse, it would suggest that one is holding back. But what I get from this card that corresponds with the inspiration is the fearlessness. All right, the fearlessness. All right, to make the change necessary. All right, because we're releasing limited fears. All right, we're releasing limited thinking. All right, limited beliefs, which incorporate limited fears. All right, and when I saw the Nine of Swords in reverse, that's releasing all of that. All right, so what I see here is that you're becoming fearless. All right, upright, this is a new beginning, like a new journey. But this is a continuous journey. All right, there's nothing new about what you're doing. Okay, it's just that you're doing it. All right, you're releasing these things. Okay. And so I would continue releasing what is necessary. I'm seeing here the self-discipline come out next. So this is a personal transformation. This is I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the Tower come out here. All right. So I'm seeing the self-discipline is what it is required to, have the perception change. And also we have the sun coming in upside down. I'm going to take this one too. And this is because this is the inner child. Okay, the inner child oftentimes is not healed from all the bullshit that it has had to, and had to handle, had to go through. All the unfair things, and then the inner child starts acting out, and then we adopt those thoughts as programming and as an ideology to suggest that we're right and whatnot. But really, it's coming from someone that is hurt, someone that really wants to create a child inside of you, your inner creativity that wants to create, that can't, took on this mindset because it felt like it needed to get Graham. It felt like it needed to do all of these things. And the truth is that you didn't need to do all of those things. Okay, you need to let all of those things go. All right, so that you can heal your inner child, so that you can have your creative gifts. The creativity is also a part of learning, and learning is wisdom. All right, so I'm seeing here from this reading that there's a collective that has been through some things, been through some challenges, okay, and that they're choosing to work through these challenges and change the perception. The perception will keep you from that old mindset, so then that you can move forward. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you right now. All right, this is an inner journey. Okay, all right, that has to do with the shadow self. All right, and the fact that you're moving past that. So while we were dealing with a shadow self that was causing turmoil, we are moving from that. We are releasing that. We have the wisdom now to see why it's important to release a lack mindset. All right, I'll say this, okay? I've always been fruitful myself, okay? I've always had a job. I had a paper route when I was 9, okay? I've always had my own money, all right? I'll ride my bike to 2 different McDonald's or whatever, you know what I'm saying? McDonald's or Burger King. I've always been able to have what I needed, and it has been a joy to have these things, all right? uh, it did not come from uh, holding on to stuff from the past. Okay, it didn't come from uh, feeding my inner child. Okay, it came from knowing inside that it was so necessary for me to release those 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 situations, those unfortunate, mishaps, those ideals that I adopted, those timelines. Okay, so that I could step into. I had to heal my inner child first, is what I'm saying. And no one out here is going to help you do that. That's something that you're going to have to do on a personal level. So until I healed myself on a personal level, you know, it, I was in a lack mindset too. Okay, I was also in a lack mindset. I have these gifts to be able to read energy. All right, I could do a lot of stuff. I could send energy. I can do a lot of stuff. But I had a lack mindset because I felt like, okay, well, thank you, God, for teaching me all of this stuff. I've been praying. I've been keeping my vibration high intentionally. All right. I've been working. I've seen the majestic abilities come in. I've seen the clairs and things like that. And I told God, I said, I'm good. I appreciate it. You know, so now I'm getting what I'm trying to get, right? Because now I'm equipped. But God said, well, look, bro, you know, I told you all of that stuff because I want you to tell the world. I want you to do tarot. I want you to do Reiki on people, you know. And I was like, what? Right? You know, and so as a result, I ended up grappling with that because I was like, I didn't get this far and go through this much shit just to have to continue to work hard. I want to attract it. And God said, well, you're going to actually attract it like you've been doing. I just gave you wisdom to go with you already been doing, but you got to keep working hard. So that was a tough one for me personally. I had a lack mindset. All right. I had to understand that even though I felt that, even though I believed that, even though I had adopted that thought, that came from, even though I was confident and had a job when I was young, that came from programming. I said, I don't need to deal with people, right? Because people get on my nerves. But God said, no, you need to be out here in front of people. So that is an example on how one can believe, even though they're confident and they feel like they have achieved the things that they're looking to achieve in their life, how they can still have adopted and truly believe a lack mindset. Okay, because it came from, you know, unfortunate opportunities. That opinion came from unfortunate opportunities. That opinion came from playing small. Whether I chose to believe that or not is the truth. And that's come out in my tarot also. A lot of folks don't do tarot on themselves, but I do. All right, because I can read the energy. All right. So that's all I've got for you all today. I hope y'all like this tarot. I can continue to do it. I can read energy easily. That's no problem. I This is the last thing that I thought I would be doing. But I have no problem giving out these information. So today, I mean, this is about lack mindset and changing your mindset and having a personal development in within yourself to give you the strength and the ability and the foresight to move forward. Okay, even when you're down and out, even when you feel like, man, nah, man, I keep doing it. Always follow your truth. All right. Challenge yourself to stay in a mindset that's not lack and question that. That's how you're going to do that. And then move forward. Okay? All right. I'm Dion from Divine Timing 33. All right. Until next time, I'll see y'all again. If y'all like this tarot reading, then I can continue to do that. Drop a comment down at the bottom and let me know what you think about this reading. Let me know how it resonates with you. Okay? Let me know. I also see the moon coming out and the sun coming out. So there is a duality, all right, that is with the sun and the moon about releasing. Okay, so then I see masculine and feminine here when I look at these cards. All right. And that masculine and feminine should both be inspiring. All right. Keep that in mind. A lot of folks jump into their masculine, or they feel like their power is jumping into a masculine or a feminine energy and playing it like that. That's not the power. The power is understanding and using higher perception and balancing the polarities of both male and feminine energy. All right. I'll see y'all in the next video. I love y'all, and Ashe.